Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Kaga Voiceover here, and today we have Chapter 2 of What If Naruto Was a Half-Devil, playing the Four Devils. If you guys do enjoy the content I put out, like and subscribe and hit that bell notification button so you get updated every time I post a new What If video. In this video, we're going to do something more different than my usual tone of voice. We're going to try a more softer, quieter type of voice. So if you do like this one, please do let me know down in the comments. If not, I'll go back to my more gruff, louder type voice. Like this. But for now, we're going to do something like this. So you can really relax while listening to my stories. But that is all for now. Make sure to check Matsukaiga, my gaming channel, for things that will be posted there soon. But that is all for now. Let's get straight into the story. Chapter 2. Change in the playing field. 1 month later, Naruto was in the Forest of Death, standing tall but in nothing but a pair of baggy black pants and black steel-toed boots, with a pair of black arm bracers on his arms, with the design of 9 swirling foxtails on it, with a red trench coat hung on the tree branch. He was currently standing in front of 100 clones, each holding a copy of Rebellion and Yamato. He himself was holding the devil arm of Kyuubi no Kitsune before the army of clones. Kyuubi's devil arm looked like a long black Nodachi sword, with the guard looking like a fox head, the handle looking like a large fox claws with a long black crack going down the middle. He was currently sparring against his clones to see how far he has progressed. The first thing he learned over the past month was the styles of his ancestors, with the first being the style that would help him master all of his devil arms, called the Sword Master style. Kyuubi's devil arm worked with speed and fast strikes, like the way a fox would fight in battle. When he first practiced with his sword, it gave him a sense of strength and determination while fighting. He also saw when he summoned a devil arm, his eyes would reflect the devil's essence. Therefore, when he used Kyuubi, his eyes would turn blood red with slits growing larger. Once he got a good hand on sword mastery, he moved on to the next style, called Gunslinger. Gunslinger was a style that was hard to master, as you needed to use a rare weapon called a gun. He was told guns were some of the most powerful weapons in existence, as they were able to fire projectiles on unbelievable speeds and could take out anything depending on the amount of the power it held. He was also told that once he got his devil powers fully developed, he could transfer his power into the guns themselves to increase their lethality. He was currently using his new weapons given to him by his father. They were 2 handguns, called Angel and Reaper. Angel and Reaper were both an M1911 handguns that were each completely different in appearance. Reaper was a jet black painted handgun with the image of a red female devil with huge red bat wings on the side, with the words Reaper etched in black. On the second gun, Angel, was painted pearl white with the image of a blue female angel with huge blue falcon wings that had the words Angel etched in white. Naruto enjoyed learning how to use these babies, but the material he needed for them to work no longer existed, as every gun that was ever made was destroyed during the first Great Shinobi War. He learned that the guns needed something called bullets and gunpowder, but nobody knew how to make that substance. The bullets weren't around either, so he had to personally ask the shop where he got his clothing, which conveniently happened to sell weapons, and ask the man to make him bullets while simultaneously asking the man to adjust his guns to use chakra instead of gunpowder. Okay, Naruto, I want you to try it again. Let your instincts guide you in the way you aim your bullet, Kyuubi said, going through the mental link with Naruto nodding. He closed his eyes and listened to his heartbeat. Then he felt his adrenaline build up, as well as his heartbeat going faster. Then, before anyone could say a word, the white-haired boy took a close look at took a grasp on Reaper and swung his arm in a wide arc before firing the bullet, letting the thunderclap be heard throughout the forest. The bullet left the gun, heading straight towards the tree in front of Naruto, before something strange happened. The bullet curved itself to the left around the tree and hit the one behind the one he fired towards. Naruto stood amazed, as that was something he had never seen before. You like that, kid? It's a skill I picked up during my time with Sparda, but it's clearly more fun to slash your enemies than shoot them. What you do is allow your adrenaline to speed up your heartbeat so that your eyes can see things more clearly. With a few more days of straight training, with a couple of 100 shadow clones, you should be able to do this without even trying, Kyuubi said with Naruto nodding. He got used to the idea of him learning from the strongest of the 9, since after all they had to depend on each other to survive. After his true bloodline was activated by his ancestors, his power was far stronger than ever. After he destroyed his cursed orange jumpsuit, moved out of his rinky-dink apartment, he was very happy in his little crib in the upper district of the village. The best part, it was all his. However, his thoughts were soon interrupted when he saw that it was time to make his return to the academy. He truly wanted the day to come very quickly, as he wanted to see the look on the other Gennin's faces at his new look. Therefore, with that in mind, he dispelled all of his clones and received the information they had quickly gathered during their quote-unquote life. After that, he simply put on his jacket, but left it open as well as rolling up the sleeves to show off his tattoos. He knew the ladies liked that. As he walked through the streets of Konoha, he got looks of surprise, curiosity, and lust from the women. They were all drooling at the sight of his chest. They figured it was probably because of his tattoo on his right pec. It appeared that every devil arm Naruto gained, a new tattoo would appear somewhere on his body. The newest tattoo looked like a fox with burning red eyes and 9 tails growling. This one symbolized Kyuubi to the fullest. He had to say he liked it the most. As he continued walking through the street until he pulled out Angel and held it behind his back. I know you're there, Konohamaru. So get your ass out here, Naruto said, hearing a kid groan. He then turned to see the appearance of a little kid that looked like he was 8 years old, wearing a yellow t-shirt and light blue pants, with an orange scarf tied around his neck. Naruto also saw the boy had a pair of goggles strapped to his forehead, same pair of goggles he once wore before he became a Genin, or a Genin. You're no fun, boss. You're supposed to be my rival. Yet every chance I get to beat you, you're one step ahead, he said with Naruto rubbing his head, before he picked the boy up and carried him on his shoulders. Sorry, little man, but I can't afford to let you get one over me at your age. Besides, I can't play today. I have to go to class, he said with the boy groaning again. But you promised you would. I told Moegi and Udon that you'd play ninja with us, yet you still haven't come to play. He said this with Naruto laughing to himself. Well, remember, I did promise you I would try to become a Jonin by the time you graduate. That way I could be your sensei along Moegi and Udon, he said with the boy smiling brightly. You promised me, son? Yep, was all he said. Later at the academy building, Iruka looked around the room and saw that everyone that had passed the exams was there. He was pretty happy at the moment, seeing as he got the 2 banshees, Haruna Sakura and Yamanaka Ino, to shut their asses up. Every day for the last year, those 2 had begun fighting over the Uchiha clan heir, Sasuke Uchiha. Due to a rumor about Ino liking Sasuke and Sakura later on liking the boy, the tension between the girls had built up so high that it soon became the sword that would pierce their friendship, thus causing them to act like this. He was almost sure that the only reason Ino fights with Sakura constantly is that the girl really broke her heart that day and she never got over it. Once he saw that everyone was silent, he was about to speak until the doors opened and walked a white-haired boy. Everyone saw that the boy was well over 5 feet tall with short white hair. that looked more like a mop and deep blue eyes. The girls were actually staring at his open jacket to show off his shirtless chest and his chain around his neck that looked to have a ruby on it. Everyone was wondering who the boy was, but Eureka knew who it was hands down, due to the whisker marks, like marks on his face. Those marks belonged to one person, and one person only. Hello, Naruto. It's good to see you're back. Now take a seat, he said with everyone thinking, that's Naruto? With their heads in the direction of the former blonde. Naruto had simply had a smirk on his face as he waved to Iruka. Sorry, Scarface. I've been busy, but we'll talk later, Naruto said, which made everyone look at Iruka just to see what he would do about being called Scarface. To their shock, he just waved the boy off as if it was no big deal. Meanwhile, Naruto took a seat next to Hinata, who was blushing deeply, but also heard the sounds of other girls talking about the boy. Some were discussing ways to get him alone with them. She could not help but get angry at the girls for just now seeing how Naruto for the handsome boy he is. She saw him first, so if anyone would get the boy alone with them, it's gonna be her, and her alone. Congratulations to all of you. You've managed to make it this far, but the road ahead of you will only get harder. You are now genin, the lowest of the low, and as such, adults. I am proud of you all for making this far, and I wish you luck on the journey ahead of you. If you remember nothing else, remember this. You now represent our village, the oldest and the strongest of all shinobi villages. Take pride in that. As Iruka finished his speech, several cheers sounded throughout the room. After they died down, however, Iruka was quick to speak up once more. Now, as tradition goes, you have been divided into teams, along with a Jonin instructor. Team 1. From here, Naruto tuned out the men and listening only for the announcement of his own team. Team 7. Uzumaki Naruto, Haruna Sakura, Uchiha Sasuke, your Jonin teacher, your Jonin instructor, Hadake Kakashi. Damn, I'm stuck with a gay emo and his faithful bitch. This is bullshit, Naruto thought, seeing Sakura celebrate getting on the same team as her crush. Well, Ino looked pissed. Team 8, Aburame Shino, Hyuga Hanada, Yunazuka Kiba, your Jonin instructor, Yuhai Kurenai. I wanted to be on a team with Naruto-kun, not some arrogant, neutered dog. Naruto thought, seeing Kiba howl, getting with Hinata while Shino slapped his head in an annoyance. Team 9 is still in circulation from last year, so there will be no new one. Team 10, Narashikamaru, Yamanaki Ino, and Akamichi Choji, your Jonin instructor, Sarutobi Asuma. Iruka said, seeing Ino slam her head on the desk at the fate she was given. Now then, we will have an hour recess. After this, you will return here as your Jonin instructor comes to pick you up. Dismissed. Without the chaos of as the group of preteens began chatting excitedly and leaving the room. 4 hours later, they found the members of Team 7 as the only people left within the room. Everyone else had been picked up within the first 10 minutes. Sakura had spent the first hour pestering Sasuke, while the Uchiha ignored her very existence. Since then, it had been quiet as the girl began to glance between Sasuke and the white-haired boy that was Naruto. Sasuke, however, spent the entire time brooding and ignoring Sakura's existence while trying to discover what secret was behind Naruto's new appearance, what secrets he had hidden. Naruto, however, had spent the time going over the things he learned during the last month. Flashback. Naruto was now walking through an area called Training Area 44, or as some would call it, the Forest of Death. This place was a giant area filled with dangerous animals, poisonous plants, and bugs. However, among those were several other things that would make a person with an iron stomach queasy. However, Naruto wasn't known as the boy with little fear, as there wasn't a damn thing he was afraid of. All of his life, he was going through things most people would not even dream of experiencing, at any age, mind you. But for him, he got that out of the way. Thanks to that, he drew more knowledge from it than what a normal person would expect. About 2 weeks ago, he located this area after asking the Hokage where the best place to train would be. The Hokage gave him the list of areas he could go, and as a result, he found the Forest of Death to be the best spot. And personally speaking, it was. This was quiet, peaceful, and you could kill something every day. See? Perfect. The one thing Naruto enjoyed most being there was one thing: snakes. Naruto liked the taste of them, hunting them. It was just so fun. Oh, and hunting them was just as fun. Turned out snakes are quite possibly the best way to survive in the wild, because they were loaded with protein and vitamins that you need to survive. But to get snakes, you would first have to cut the head off, since if the snake turned out to be poisonous, you would have to bury its head since the poison is trapped in its fangs, so you're still at risk of getting poisoned by it. Then shed the skin and eat it up, plus you get a nice belt too. Nevertheless, for right now, Naruto was searching for a good area to get a good amount of training in before a nice tree to camp in for the night. He then started all over again. And then started all over again. Kept walking until he felt a pair of arms wrap themselves around his neck. A pair of breasts were pressed into his back, which made him blush deeply. Yet he knew exactly who this person was, and said person moved closer to his ear. You know, Naruto-kun, you're not supposed to come into the Forest of Death without looking for me. That was the agreement we had, Anko said with a seductive voice that made Naruto blush even deeper. But Anko-chan, I tried looking for you, but I couldn't find you. Besides, I was just trying out new techniques, he said with Anko letting him go so he could turn around to face her, smirking face. Naruto and Anko had been on quite good terms for a while, since she was Naruto's partner in his most exclusive pranks, such as the one where when both him and her broke into Uchiha Sasuke's house and spread glue all over his bathroom floor and furniture. They did about 30 of countless pranks the boy pulled, and her personal favorite one, she helped Naruto dye the pink blonde's banshee hair. The pink and the blonde's banshee hair black with the words on the back of their head saying, I like to get licked. It was the moment that Naruto would always treasure when the girls came to school next day, completely unaware of what their hair looked like, to hear the girls and boys laughing at them. Okay, I'll let it slide this one time since we still need to get some training done. Plus you promised you were going to teach me some genjutsu since you seem to be pretty good at it, Anko said with Naruto nodding. This is what they had in terms of a relationship, just strictly training and nothing more. Well, maybe not that much, since they would occasionally hang out, as if as Naruto would treat her to dango and she would treat her to ramen. They would run each other ragged after that. But later on, they would train just like they always did. Later on, Naruto stood before Anko, holding his patented Yamato in his left hand, with the blade still in it. Anko could be seen panting loudly while holding a katana of her own that Naruto bought her, mind you. Naruto was teaching her the style Nero fought with when he was alive, but the style had no name. Though Anko promised she would give it a name when she mastered it. Anko soon regained her breath and grasped the sword tightly before running at Naruto while holding the sword in both of her hands. Naruto blocked all of her strikes with the scabbard of his katana and simply knocked her attempts away her attempts to hit him. Naruto planted her foot on the ground before she spun, dragging her right foot on the ground and held the sword in her two hands and called it out, Exceed. This was one of the moves Naruto had taught Anko. The way it worked was charging forward with your foot dragging on the ground and you hold the sword in both hands in order to create a devastating attack. It would be more powerful if Anko could use it with fire, but sadly the chemicals needed to cover the sword with flames had been lost for many centuries. Naruto was still trying to come up with a formula to help her the attack the attack better, but for right now this would have to do. So with that, he grasped the hilt of his sword and pulled it back to block the sword strike. Okay, Anko-chan, that's good for today. You're getting much better every day, he said, complimenting her on a job well done. As he called back his sword, the sword then broke into particles of purple and went into his arm, forming the tattoo. She panted as she put her sword away. How are you able to do it? You should be as tired as me, Anko said, panting, with Naruto shrugging his shoulders. I've got great stamina. Besides, you'll get a hang of it once you train harder, he said, with Anko nodding before she walked up to him and hugged him from his back, making the boy feel her breast on his back. For some reason, he just loved it. You know, you will have to get that test to test that theory of yours about high stamina, Naruto-kun, she said, though Naruto laughed at himself. Not yet, Anko-chan. Though don't think I want to deny you. You know you're a sexy psycho, he said with her groaning. I want to be your sexy psycho. The only way I can do that is to test you. She sounded a little desperate, but Naruto simply waved it off. Don't worry. When the time is right, I'll give you that desire you want. Who knows, you might take my virginity, he said, not seeing the blush on her face. Come on, I'll treat you to some tango, he said, with the purple-haired woman grabbing his hand and pulling him out of the forest to get her favorite food. And flashback. You better hit that. That woman is practically throwing her coochie at you. No, I'm sorry. Pussy at you, Kyubi said, with his demonic lust practically calling for his vessel to bang that woman from sunup to sundown. I know, Kyubi, but the time is not right now. I got more on my mind than getting laid. I have plenty of time to do that later on. For now, I just want to get this thing over with and start hunting demons, he thought, feeling his ancestors' blood spark at the thought of that. He had heard many tales from the Kyubi and how he learned of Dante capturing well over 20 devils and slaying thousands in his days. He would describe each one of them with the story of how he gained them and what it took to kill them. He was shaken from his thoughts as he noticed the sound of footsteps reach his ear. Sitting up, he looked over just in time to see the door slide open. As the door slid open, it revealed the form of a man wearing a uniform of a Jounin. Other than that, he wore a mask over his lower face, and his headband slanted to cover one of his eyes. Finally, he had silver hair that stuck up at an angle. My first impression of you is you guys are boring, said the man, causing him again into faceplant. Anyway, meet me on the roof in 5 minutes. With that, he disappeared in a puff of smoke. Without a word to his teammates, Naruto was up and moving out the door, with both Sakura and Sasuke moving to catch up. By the time they arrived on the roof, Kakashi could be seen leaning on the rail with a small orange book in his hands, motioning for them to sit for him, and the man snapped his book shut before pocketing it. Okay, how about introductions? Names, dislikes, likes, dreams for the future, all that good stuff, the man said lazily. Well, how about you go first so we know how it's done, asked Sakura. And she's supposed to be the smart one. All 3 males set up 3 simultaneous sighs after that. Okay then, my name is Kakashi Hatake. I have few likes, things I dislike. Well, I have a few hobbies. Man finished, inwardly laughing at the reaction he received from the three. Alright, your turn, Pinky, Kakashi said before pointing to Sakura. My name is Haruna Sakura. I like. She proceeds to look at Sasuke and blush. My hobbies are Sasuke again. My dreams for the future. Blushes, looks at Sasuke, and squeals. Damn fangirls, thought the males, as all the males with hobby size. And your dislikes? Eno pig, screamed the girl, causing everyone else to wince. You're next, Duckbutt, Kakashi said, regaining his hearing and pointing at Sasuke. My name is Uchiha Sasuke. I have no likes and many dislikes. I don't have a dream, but an ambition. I wish to revive my clan and kill a certain man, said the king of brooding. Just like I thought, an avenger, thought Kakashi. Alright, Whiskers, you're up. My name's Sparda Naruto. The other looked at him confused. I have few likes, such as training and pranks, along with a lot of dislikes, not including the idiot villagers and a certain clan that I will keep nameless. I only want through two things in life. First, to make my ancestors proud, and the second, not to kill, but utterly destroy a certain Uchiha who not only ruined my life because of its responsibility for the death of my father, finished the boy, making the group go eye wide before Sasuke turned on him with a heated glare. You're not gonna kill him. That right belongs to me, he said, only for Naruto to look at the boy in the eye and make the boy recoil. Naruto's eyes lay cold beyond anything he had ever felt. Now just wondering what changed the boy so much. This Uchiha is far stronger than that brother of yours. As for your brother, I have no beef with him. So he will be the only Uchiha I will spare my wrath, he said before he began to killing intent on Sasuke. That made the boy pale and sweat hard just from Naruto's glare alone. However, I will only say this once. If you want to live, you better make damn sure you don't piss me off. Because if you do, you'll meet Mommy and Daddy faster than they were killed. And I promise you, little boy. No, fuck. We're gonna do that better. However, I can only say this once. If you want to live, you better make damn sure you don't piss me off. Because if you do, you'll meet Mommy and Daddy faster than they were killed. And that, I promise you, little boy. Naruto said, his eyes blazing red. Sasuke then did something he'd never thought he'd do. He pissed his pants, and I was sure he didn't even notice. Naruto and Kakashi both did. The shinobi's eyes were on the ground, bawling, and both shinobi were on the ground, bawling their eyes out. That was too scary. Sakura looked livid at what Naruto did, and she would have said something if the boy did not turn her glare on her and made her shut up. Something definitely did happen to the boy. But what caused him to change was the question. Okay, said Kakashi, aiming to put things back on track. He was far too shocked by what he just saw. He would tell the Hokage later on, but for now he kept it to himself. You guys can meet me tomorrow at 0600 at Training Ground 7 for your Genin exams, Kakashi said, only for the three to blink before turning to him. Kakashi-sensei, we already took the Genin exam, said Sakura. The reaction was Kakashi laughing, seeing Sasuke narrowed his eyes while Naruto merely sighed. Finally, Kakashi regained enough of him to speak. Sorry to tell you this, but that wasn't the real Genin exam. It was merely a test to separate those with potential to becoming Genin and those who aren't ready. The true exam, however, would be given by various Jounin senseis. There's a 66.6% chance of failure, explained the man, causing Sakura to pale. Anyways, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace, Kakashi said before disappearing in a puff of smoke. Seeing the man was gone, Naruto stood to his feet without leaving a word to prepare for the next day. He prepared himself for the events that would take place tomorrow. He could not help but wonder what he had in store to him. As the saying goes, if tomorrow comes, the future will be open to you. that is it. That is chapter 2. Changing the playing field. So if you guys did enjoy, again, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and in the comments, tell me what you think about the voices I kind of did for Naruto. Like, for Naruto, I did the, sorry, little man, but I can't afford to let you get one over me at your age. Besides, I can't play today. I have to go to class. Kind of like calm, cool, collected, and suave. Because we all love Dante. He was calm, cool, collected. But again, that's will be all for this video. This is Kaka Voiceover, signing off for now. Goodbye.